Lesson 3-6, Patterns with Tenths, Hundredths, Thousandths. By the end of today's lesson, you will be able to divide whole numbers and decimals by 1/10, 1/100th, and 1/1000th. If you remember in an earlier lesson, we were multiplying by tens, hundreds, and thousands. Now we're multiplying by tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. In our previous lesson, we found the pattern to be that we would move the decimal point to the left for each zero in the number. Now we're going to count the number behind the decimal. So here we have 34 divided by 1/10. We have one digit after the decimal, so we add 1 0 after our number. Here we have 2 digits after the decimal, so they added 2 zeros after the number. Here is 3 after the decimal, so they've added 3 zeros after the number. We see that holds true over here as well. 631.8 divided by 0.1. So we have one digit after the decimal, so we had to move our decimal one way to the right. Here we've got 2 digits after the decimal, so they've moved this decimal 2 to the right. 1, 2, and in doing so needed to add a 0. Here we've got 3 numbers after the decimal, so when we move this 3, 1, 2, 3, it was right here, 1, 2, 3, we had to add 2 more zeros as placeholders so we could move the decimal to the right location. So make sure you write these rules in your notebook on to divide by 1/10, 1/100th, or 1/1000th. You're going to first count the number of decimal places in the divisor. Second, move the decimal point to the right one place in the dividend for each decimal place in the divisor. And third, write zeros in the quotient as needed. Let's take a look at the first example. We have 4.36 divided by 1/10. So we have one decimal place after the divisor. So we're going to move one place to the right. So here's our decimal place. We're going to move one place to the right. So it will be right here between the 3 and the 6. And it will look like this. 4.3.6. The next example is 4.36 divided by 1/100th. So we have 2 numbers after the decimal, so we're going to move our decimal to the right 2 places. 1, 2, so now it will be after the 6. So it'll be 436. For the next example, they have 4.36, this time divided by 1/100th. So we know we're going to count the numbers after the decimal. 1, 2, 3. We're going to move our decimal 3 places. 1, 2, 3. We need to put in a placeholder over there. So if I go like this and put 4, 3, 6, 0, I'm going to move my decimal over 3 places. So it started here. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be right after the 0. And I don't need to put it because it's at the end of the number. So when we divide by 1/10, 1/100th, or 1/1000th, the quotient increases as the divisor decreases. Remember, we're moving our decimal point to the right this time because we're dividing by the decimals. Remember, you can rewatch any part of this video that you need to and pause as you need to take any notes that will help you along the way.